This is to advise the general public that in compliance with Chapter 231 of the Public Laws of 1975 entitled Senator Bar M. Bear Open Public Meeting Act, New Jersey Casino Control Commission on December 10, 2025, filed with Secretary of State at the State House in Trenton an annual meeting schedule on December 10, 2025. Copies were mailed to subscribers. The use of cell phones in the public meeting room while the commission is in session is prohibited. Any member of the public who wishes to address the commission will be given the opportunity to do so before the commission adjourns for the day. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Welcome everyone who is joining us in person and remotely today. Meeting participants who wish to do so can continue to address the Commission through remote technology. We are also permitting in-person participation, and the public meeting room is therefore open. We will, however, continue to stream our public meetings. The public is able to listen through access provided on the Commission's website, as well as through our YouTube channel. We will accept public comments via email. Public comments can be sent to public.comments@ccc.nj.gov beginning now. I will repeat that. Public comments can be sent to public.comments@ccc.nj.gov beginning now and any time throughout the meeting, ending at the time of adjournment. This meeting is being transcribed as well as recorded, and minutes will be available on our website in due course. To meeting participant callers, I ask that you follow the instructions provided with the web link or audio call-in code and place your phones on mute until your matter is called. Also, when your matter is called, please turn on your camera and identify yourself before speaking. Thank you.
Good morning. Please answer when I call your name for the roll, please. Commissioner Formica,
Here.
Vice Chair Molyneux,
Present.
and Chairman Pelosi.
Here.
Matters discussed in closed session this morning included employee key license application matters, as well as approval of the July 8, 2026 closed session minutes. The first matter for your consideration on the public agenda is ratification of the minutes of the July 8, 2026 public meeting.
Are there any questions for council or corrections?
No, sir.
No.
Hearing none, is there a motion?
Yes, sir. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I move to ratify the minutes of July 8th, 2026 public meeting.
Is there a second?
Mr. Chairman, I second the motion.
Any further discussion?
No, sir.
No.
Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it.
Item number 2 are applications for initial casino key employee licenses and/or for qualification. They include James M. Caputo, Salma J. Sadria Aquim, Kurt Ferry, Neil W. Harrington, Amanda L. Jagdio, also known as Lakshmi Jagdio, Jennifer Lopez Gonzaga, and Connor D. Pickett. The first matters there have been reviewed by the division and commission staff with the recommendation that they be granted. They include James Caputo, Salma Cedra Aquim, Kurt Ferry, Jennifer Lopez Gonzaga, and Connor D. Pickett.
Are there any questions regarding any of these matters?
No, sir.
No.
Hearing none, is there a motion?
Yes, sir. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. At this time, let's see. I reviewed Assistant Director Ehler's memo, the division's reports, and at this time I move to grant the 5 initial key casino key employee licenses as listed by General Counsel.
Is there a second?
Mr. Chairman, I second the motion.
Any further discussion?
No.
Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, ayes have it.
Thank you. The two remaining items, Neil W. Harrington and Amanda L. Jagdeo. Objections have been raised. Commission staff has reviewed as well and recommend that those two matters be remanded to the commission's contested case hearing process.
Are there any questions regarding any of these matters?
No, sir.
No.
Hearing none, is there a motion?
Yes, sir. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Again, after reviewing Assistant Director Ealer's memos and the division's reports, I move to remand for a hearing the two initial casino key employee license applications of Harrington and Jagdeo.
Is there a second?
Mr. Chairman, I second the motion.
Any further discussion?
No, sir.
No.
Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, ayes have it.
Thank you. Item number 3 are applications for resubmitted casino key employee licenses and/or for qualification. They include Milagros Carrion Cohen, also known as Milagros Arroyo, Milagros Carrion, Milagros Carrion Arroyo. Helen R. Cintron, also known as Helen R. Hartman. Melissa K. Sigurliano, also known as Melissa K. Case, Melissa K. Swegingen. Joseph Gianfelici, David S. Halveston, Joshua K. Jones, also known as Josh K. Jones, Joanna Martinez, Daisy Nieves Roble, Kayla M. O'Connor, Stephen A. Passantrilli, Kenneth J. Seismus, Stefan J. Vandermolen, also known as Steve J. Vandermolen. With respect to 10, that's Carrion Cohen, Cintron, Sigurillano, Gianfelici, Halveston, Martinez, Nieves Robles, O'Connor, Passantrilli, and Sesmas. Those 10 resubmissions have been reviewed by the division with a recommendation that they be granted. Commission staff concurs and recommends that you grant those 10 resubmitted casino key employee licenses.
Are there any questions regarding any of these matters?
No, sir.
No.
Hearing none, is there a motion?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I have reviewed Assistant Director Ealer's memo on these and the division's reports, and with regard to the 10, I move to grant the 10 resubmitted casino key employee licenses.
Is there a second?
Mr. Chairman, I second the motion.
Any further discussion?
No.
sir.
Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, ayes have it.
3F, Joshua K. Jones, is a resubmission request and continued qualification to serve as Chief Marketing Officer for Caesars Entertainment, Inc. Again, that matter has been reviewed by the division with a recommendation that it be granted. Commission staff concurs and recommends that you grant the resubmitted key license with continued qualification without the need to establish residency to Joshua K. Jones.
Are there any questions regarding this matter?
No, sir.
No.
Hearing none, is there a motion?
Yes, sir. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. This time I move to grant the resubmitted key license without the need to establish residency as provided for in NJSA 5:12-89B and qualification of Joshua K. Jones.
Is there a second?
Mr. Chairman, I second the motion.
Any further discussion?
sir.
No.
Hearing none, roll call vote.
Commissioner Formica,
Yes.
Vice Chair Molyneux,
Yes.
and Chairman Pelosi.
Yes.
3L, Stefan J. Vandermolen. Again, this is a resubmission request for and continued qualification for Mr. Vandermolen to continue to serve as Vice President of Catering and Conventions for Boardwalk Regency LLC, Harrah's Resort Atlantic City, and Tropicana Atlantic City Corp. Division has recommended that the resubmitted key and continued qualification be granted. Commission staff concurs with the recommendation that you grant Mr. Vandermolen's resubmitted casino key employee license with a multi-casino endorsement and continued qualification.
Are there any questions regarding this matter?
No, sir.
No.
Hearing none, is there a motion?
Yes, sir. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. At this time, I move to grant the resubmitted key license with a multi-casino endorsement pursuant to NJSA 5:12-91.1 and qualification to Stephen J. Vandermolen.
Is there a second?
Mr. Chairman, I second the motion.
Any further discussion?
No.
Sir.
Hearing none, roll call vote.
Commissioner Formica,
Yes.
Vice Chair Molyneux,
Yes.
and Chairman Pelosi.
Yes.
Item number 4 are approvals through delegation of authority between July 1, 2026 and July 31, 2026 pursuant to Resolution Number 26021116D. We have Manager Harry Jeeves here to review those actions with you. However, no vote is required from the commission at this time.
Good morning, Chairman and Commissioners.
Morning.
For the record, I'm Harry Jeeves, Manager of the Commission's Licensing and Financial Evaluation Unit. Between July 1st and July 31st, the staff of the Commission's Regulatory Affairs Division granted the following approvals via its delegated authority. On July 14th, temporary casino key employee licenses were granted to Evan M. Baldwin for a sportsbook shift manager position at Ocean, Sherry L. Bartolone, also known as Sherry L. Grice or Sherry L. Klein, for a slot shift manager position at Resorts, John P. Marvilla for a dual-rate casino game supervisor / poker shift manager position at Tropicana, and Jasmine S. Stone for a casino cashiering supervisor position at Ocean. And on July 28th, a temporary casino key employee license was granted to Amir K. Salahuddin Gibson, also known as Amir K. Gibson, for a dual-rate security supervisor / security shift manager position at Ocean. This memorializes the approvals that were granted by the Commission's Division of Regulatory Affairs via its delegated authority during this period. No further Commission action is required. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Item number 5 are requests for inactivation of casino key employee licenses. Again, you have Manager Harry Jeeves here to review those actions with you.
Thank you. In lieu of filing a casino key employee license review application, Elizabeth A. Farr, also known as Elizabeth A. McDevitt or Elizabeth A. Rocks, Catherine N. Grasso, also known as Catherine N. Smith, Michael Kosick, Mario R. Paldinetti, and Mark A. Rosenthal have requested to be placed on the casino key employee license approved and active list. If these requests are granted, these individuals may remain on the approved and active list for a period of up to 5 years. Commission staff has reviewed the request and recommends that you grant the requested relief.
Are there any questions regarding any of these matters?
No, sir.
No.
Hearing none, is there a motion?
Yes, sir. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. At this time, I move to grant the requested relief in order that the 5 casino key employee licenses, as listed by Mr. Givas, be inactivated.
Is there a second?
Mr. Chairman, I second the motion.
Any further discussion?
No, sir.
No.
Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it.
So item number 6 is consideration of the lapsing of certain casino key employee licenses. Again, our Manager Harry Jeeves will review those actions with you.
For your consideration is the lapsing of the casino key employee licenses of the following individuals for failure to file a casino key employee license review application or request to be placed on the casino key employee license approved and active list. Warren B. Richards and Jason A. Sheets. In each case, the due date for filing a casino key employee license is passed. Based on staff's review, we recommend that the casino key employee license of the noted individuals be deemed to have lapsed. Thank you.
Are there any questions regarding any of these matters?
No.
sir.
Hearing none, is there a motion?
Yes, sir. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. At this time, I move to find that the 2 casino key employee licenses lapsed pursuant to NJAC 19:41A-6.1F of the regulation.
Is there a second?
Mr. Chairman, I second the motion.
Any further discussion?
No.
sir.
Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it.
Thank you. Item number 7 is consideration of the initial application of Christopher Garicki for a casino key employee license, identified as docket number 260071CK. Senior Counsel Teresa Pipinelli is here to review that matter with you.
Good morning, Chairman and Commissioners. Teresa Pimpinelli, Senior Counsel, appearing for the Commission. For your consideration is the initial application of Christopher Gorecki for his Casino Key employee license and plenary qualification. You have staff's memo and recommendation for this matter. Mr. Gorecki was notified of today's proceedings. I would ask counsel for the division to just enter their appearance and proceed.
Good morning, Chairman and Commissioners. Jocelyn Fedowitz, Deputy Attorney General, on behalf of the Division of Gaming Enforcement. On May 5th, 2026, the division filed a letter report recommending that the application of Christopher Gorecki for Casino Key employee licensure be denied pursuant to Sections 80B, 80D, 89B1, and 89B2 of the Casino Control Act. Subsequently, the Commission at its June 10th, 2026 meeting remanded the matter to the contested case process. As advised by the Commission, Christopher Gorecki failed to submit the requisite hearing request form and comply with the contested case process. Therefore, based on the applicant's non-responsiveness and failure to comply with the contested case process, as well as the issues raised in the division's report, the division requests that Christopher Gorecki's application for Casino Key employee licensure be denied. Thank you.
And for the record, the applicant is not here in person or telephonically?
Correct.
Thank you. Are there any questions for counsel regarding this matter?
I just have one or two. Ms. Fedowitz, it was tax years 2019 to 24, and the division was looking for business income and tax records for those years, right?
Correct.
And Mr. Gorecki was non-responsive?
Correct.
Also, senior counsel, you reached out to Mr. Gorecki and didn't get anything either, right?
He did leave me a voicemail saying he's not interested in pursuing this matter.
Okay, thank you. That's all I have, sir.
Any other questions?
No.
Hearing none, is there a motion?
Yes, sir. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. At this time, I move to find Christopher Gorecki disqualified pursuant to NJSA 5:12-80 B and D, NJSA 5:12-86, and NJSA 5:12-89, and deny his initial application for Casino Key employee license and qualification.
Is there a second?
Mr. Chairman, I second the motion.
Any further discussion?
No, sir.
No.
Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it.
Thank you.
Thank you. Item number 8 is consideration of the initial decision in the matter of the initial Casino Key employee licensure of Albert C. Parker Jr., identified as docket number 250008CK. This matter was initially remanded by the Commission at its January 14, 2026 public meeting. Pre-hearing conferences were conducted, and a hearing was held on March 23, 2026, with Commissioner Formica serving as the Commission hearing officer. There was an order entered extending the time for the filing of the initial decision. The initial decision was ultimately filed on July 20, 2026. Before you now is consideration of the adoption of that initial decision. If counsel, I believe counsel is present via Zoom, please enter your appearances as well as division counsel.
Hi, Lloyd Levinson from Cooper Levinson on behalf of Mr. Parker.
Jocelyn Fedowitz, Deputy Attorney General, on behalf of the Division of Gaming Enforcement.
Thank you. Nice to see you back, Mr. Levinson.
Thank you, appreciate it. It's good to be back, good to be seen, good to be heard.
Awesome. Hair looks great.
Please proceed there, Mr. Levinson.
Yes, thank you. Hi, Jocelyn. As mentioned, there was an initial decision in this case from Commissioner Formica where he said that we established by clear and convincing evidence that Mr. Parker possessed the requisite good character, honesty, and integrity, as well as the financial stability, responsibility, and integrity that's required by the Act and the regulations. Commissioner Formica referred to the Bally's case, among other factors in Mr. Parker's favor. He referred to the Bally's case regarding character, where you look at the experience of a lifetime, how Mr. Parker will conduct himself in the future based primarily on how he's conducted himself in the past. The incident was over 6 years old when we went to the hearing, and Commissioner Formica was right to look at the experience of a lifetime. That is how he will conduct himself in the future. There were no negative conduct. There was no negative conduct either before or after, and he held that the behavior was aberrational rather than an indication of ongoing deficiency in integrity. Commissioner Formica found that Mr. Parker was remorseful. He accepted responsibility for his poor judgment. He admitted he panicked and even quoted Mr. Parker when Mr. Parker said, "I will forever be sorry for how I handled this." Importantly, Commissioner Formica acknowledged that the DGE does not object, and Mr. Parker has had a lengthy and otherwise unblemished career with no disciplinary history or regulatory violations. That's over 20 years. There were 11 character letters presented on Mr. Parker's behalf. So when Commissioner Formica assessed Mr. Parker's life as a whole, he concluded, as I said in the beginning, that we established by clear and convincing evidence that he possesses the requisite good character, honesty, and integrity, as well as financial stability, responsibility, as required by the Act and regulations to get a key employee license. And I would be remiss if I didn't acknowledge on page 15 of the initial decision the fact that I've heard it said many times that, oh, what a tangled web we weave when we first practice to deceive. I've heard that, but it was Commissioner Formica's initial decision that I was told that came from the 19th century Scottish author Sir Walter Scott. So I thank Commissioner Formica. All these years, I guess I was too lazy to look it up to see who said it first, but now I know.
Google.
Thank you. So I would ask the commission to adopt the initial decision. And Mr. Parker is here. He wanted to show his responsibility and his actions by coming himself to the hearing. So he's sitting actually in the same seat that he sat during the hearing. So thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
As the division did not oppose Casino Key employee licensure in this matter based upon its prior actions taken with regard to Albert Parker, the division does not object to the issuance of such licensure. Thank you.
Thank you.
Are there any questions for council?
No, sir.
Would you like to make a statement?
No, ma'am.
No questions for council? Okay. Is there a motion?
Yes, sir. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I agree with Mr. Levinson that everything that Commissioner Formica said was true. At this time, I move to modify the initial decision and delete any findings of qualification and grant the initial application of Albert C. Parker Jr. for a Casino Key employee license and adopt the initial decision as modified pursuant to NJAC 1:1-18.6.
Is there a second?
Mr. Chairman, I second the motion.
Any further discussion?
No, sir.
No.
Hearing none, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Ayes have it.
Thank you.
Good luck,
Thank you.
Mr. Parker.
Thank you all.
Thank-
Thank you all so much.
Good luck, Mr. Parker. Thank you, Mr. Levinson.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Item number 9, thank you. 9 is consideration of the initial Casino Key employee licensure and plenary qualification of Nagaraj Shigahali to serve as Vice President of Information Security, IAM, for Marina District Development Company, LLC, doing business as Brigada Hotel, Casino, and Spa. This matter was initiated by a petition, PRN 274-2501, dated October 1, 2025, seeking the temporary key licensure and temporary qualification of Mr. Shigahali to perform the services and take the position identified. You temporarily qualified him at your October 8, 2025 public meeting. The matter was initially listed for the July 2026 public meeting, but was adjourned to today's public meeting with an extension of Mr. Shigahali's temporary key license and qualification granted in conjunction with the relisting of the matter. Today before you is plenary consideration of the initial Casino Key employee licensure and qualification of Mr. Shigahali. Council is present, and with your permission, Mr. Chairman, I ask that they enter their appearances and address the matter directly.
Good morning, Chairman, Commissioners. Marie Jones from Fox Rothschild here on behalf of Mr. Shigahali. I'd first like to thank the division for working with us throughout the process. It was a very intense investigation and a lot of back and forth. The division report before the commission recommends granting plenary qualification for his position as Vice President of Information Services and Information Service Officer for the Brigada. We strongly urge the commission to adopt the recommendation for plenary qualification. In the division's report, there are certain indications of negative information that I would like the opportunity to briefly address. First, the division's report raised a concern regarding the lack of documentation for certain business expenses claimed related to a single-member LLC with the sole member being his wife. The company did certain IT consulting services and ceased operation in 2024. During his sworn interview, he explained that at the time the business was closing, his mother had been diagnosed with cancer. He was traveling to India because of the diagnosis, and that there were other health concerns within his immediate family that resulted in the decision to close the consulting business. Under those circumstances, the family's focus was on the health concerns within his immediate family and addressing those personal matters. They were not focused on record retention. His wife utilized the Microsoft OneDrive for business records, and upon closing the account, she was unable to retrieve the stored records. She did not realize that at the time she was closing the business, and during the investigative process, tried again with Microsoft to see if she could obtain the records, and she could not. Mr. Shigahali acknowledged that failing to retain this documentation was a mistake. To address the issue, they amended their tax returns, removed the expenses and wages, and have paid significant additional tax liability resulting from the removal of the deductions because of the lack of records. The division also raised a concern that at the time the business was operating in 2023 and 2024, the only employee besides his wife was their college-age daughter. In a sworn interview, he explained the different services that his daughter provided and the contributions she made to the business. The division noted the absence of timesheet, logs, or similar documentation, and raised the fact that she was a full-time college student. As discussed, the business records were not properly maintained at the time of closing, and there was no requirement that the company maintain timesheets or logs. His wife was paid a flat fee for services performed under the consulting agreement, and the fee did not change based on whom she hired to assist. She chose to hire her daughter to explore whether IT was the field of interest for her. The daughter's salary was determined by what other IT personnel would normally be paid and what she had been making when working at a restaurant by also attending college and right before that high school. The daughter has continuously worked throughout her educational process. When it became clear that the daughter was not interested in IT, The company provided other services to align with the potential interest in financial services industry. The company was a sole member LLC and could in fact provide more than just one type of service. When the division expressed concern about the daughter working a significant number of hours as a full-time student, it is not unusual for college students to work substantial hours when attending school, and I know that many of us did just that through undergrad and law school. Regardless, to fully resolve this matter, they amended the tax returns to remove the wage expenses and paid the additional tax liability resulting from the removal of the deductions. There was also a concern related to the preparation of the MJ PhD and certain missing information. Mr. Shigadali explained that the filing was completed under a very tight time frame. He entered unknown for information that he did not have readily available at the time and inadvertently omitted certain other details. He acknowledges that he did not subsequently amend his application. While he should have provided more complete responses and additional details, he was not fully familiar with the process at the time and had not yet engaged counsel. Upon request from the division, he provided information and has confirmed now his understanding as to the process and the importance of thorough and complete disclosures within the application, and will ensure that all future filings and requests of the division are properly and promptly completed. Again, we'd like to thank the division for its patience during this investigation and review, and we would respectfully request that the commission adopt the division's recommendation and grant plenary qualification. Thank you, and Mr. Shigali is here to address any questions you may have.
Good morning, Chairman and Commissioners. Tracy Richardson, Deputy Attorney General for the Division of Gaming Enforcement. You have our report dated July 2nd, 2026, in which we recommended the plenary casino key employee licensure and qualification of Mr. Shigali in his Vice President Information Security IAM position. After the matter was adjourned, as Ms. Fauntleroy went through from the July meeting, we filed a supplemental report of August 4th, 2026, to provide the commission with updated information as to some actions Mr. Shigali had taken after the prior meeting. Our recommendation remains the same to grant plenary casino key employee licensure and qualification in this matter. Thank you.
Any questions for council?
I do. I'll defer to the vice chair first if she wants to go first.
Are there questions for council or questions for Mr. Shigali?
I have a
Or
question.
both?
I have a question, a couple for the division, and then Mr. Shigahawa.
Okay, so we'll let him in when you're ready for questions for him. Okay.
I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
Ms. Richardson, I just heard Ms. Jones say that there was a number of family health issues around the time where the tax issues arose. Did Mr. Shigahawa tell you that, or tell one of your investigators in that? Because I didn't see that in the report. Did he ever explain about the health issues as a reason for the bad bookkeeping?
I believe it's noted in our report. Just have a moment to look at it again. It's on page 4, the second full paragraph, at the end of that paragraph. The July 2nd report.
The second full paragraph, I'm sorry.
The second full paragraph on page 4 of the July 2nd report that starts the division notes. It's the last sentence of that paragraph.
July 4th or August 4th, I'm sorry. Oh. Can't find it.
July 2,
July 2nd. Here's-
July 2nd,
July 2 report, page 4.
page 4.
Next to the last paragraph,
Next to the last paragraph.
last sentence.
Okay. personal issues involving child and medical concern. Okay, thank you for clearing that up. Ms. Richardson, also, in your report, you talked something about deductions for cyber-safe technologies with regard to vehicles, legal fees, and office equipment, right? That was one of your concerns.
It was general concern about deduction of business expenses
Business
as a
expenses.
whole.
I don't see an amount. Did you put an amount there that he might have
I
deducted
don't
from?
know that we did.
Okay, no big deal. Just want to know if I missed that, like I missed the first thing. I also noted in your report, there was issues on, is it Shigahalli, am I saying that correct?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Mr. Shigahalli not providing phone numbers of relatives, was that ever fleshed out? Was that turned into a big issue?
As Ms. Jones said in her dialogue at the beginning, that Mr. Shigahalli had explained that some things were not included on the application because he didn't have time to gather the specific information when he was preparing the application.
Okay, I guess my question is, were you able to complete your investigation without contacting these people that you didn't have phone numbers for?
We noted that he had amended the pages that we asked him to amend.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Vice Chair, do you have any questions for council?
Yes. Good afternoon, Mr. Shiganani. Are you,
We have to swear you in.
oh,
Darrell, would
Mr.
swear in the
Shigahalli,
witness.
would you please raise your right hand? Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth? So help you God? State your name for the record.
Nataraj Shigahalli.
Thank you.
Yeah, pull the mic to, you could be seated.
Okay.
good afternoon again.
Good
Are
afternoon,
you aware of what this title holds? The title itself
Yes, ma'am.
of information? It clearly states information. And it seems that you were unable to give your information to the division at the time that they inquired it upon you.
The only information I wasn't able to provide was my relatives' phone numbers. And the reason was like, I filled that form when I was standing in the line here. Like I just finished the form like till 2 in the morning, and then I submitted the form next day like at 10 o'clock in the morning. My family members, like I was able to list my wife and my daughter's phone numbers who are with me here in the United States. But my rest of my extended family is all in India. I was able to get their names and the date of birth, but I wasn't sure about their current phone numbers. That was the reason I missed it. But my mistake was later on I could not go back and then fill the form and then submit it back.
Also, how would you react if you caught someone doing the same thing you were caught in, which were not giving information and not placing the information at those particular times that they are required of? What does your job curtail?
To make sure that the data is accurate and correct.
I'm sorry,
And
repeat.
to make sure the data is accurate and correct, and then have the individuals responsible for their job, like take the ownership.
The division wrote the good character, honesty, and integrity on page 6. That everything was incomplete and incorrect information.
What is the question, Commissioner Molina?
Why was that I'm sorry.
Okay.
Why was the information incorrect? And it is the word information that I'm still hung up on.
So I'm not sure what information was incorrect, madam, but,
There was submissions, if I may, to his applications where he did not include certain details that he has admitted, and then when, however, it was included in other parts. For instance, there was an account that he missed putting on it. When you're looking at information security officer as opposed to his personal information, an information security officer is to protect the general information held by the company, to make sure there's not cyber attacks, to review and make sure somebody is not transporting data that they should not be out of the company, such as PII of players. It is not to ensure that, you know, me as an employee is keeping proper files. So I think there is two different things we're looking at here. You're not looking at, should he be able to keep all his own information, because that's what his information security officer position would be. He's a technology person to ensure that the company and to oversee that the cyber and the security of information held at the company's offices.
I think you said at the beginning of the information part. Say that part again, that information that's coming from where?
The information he submitted was his personal information.
Correct, I'm there with you there.
Okay. The information that he is in charge of as information security officer is to protect the information within the company, whether it's player data, other data that employees have. It's not to check that it's complete, it's to make sure that there's not cyber attacks occurring.
So if he could not keep his own information, how is that capability to keep the information for our cyber attacks
Well, I
going to
think
be
there's two
a
different
different
things.
or whatever?
He's not saying he did not, they did not keep the documents. When they closed the business because of other issues that were going on, they did not go into whether the documents would be kept. They were going through various family issues that were consuming their time, and his wife had decided to close the business and did not realize that the Microsoft OneDrive, when you shut it down, it's gone. I didn't know that until he told me that. So should he have maybe, or his wife actually as the owner of the LLC, should she have checked with them? Absolutely. But at the time, she was going through some serious family matters.
So at work, we're all going to be going through different situations in our particular lifetime or during each day of life. That's just life. So whatever happened that particular day, what was going on with your life, you could be still sitting at wherever you're researching or looking at information coming into cyber. It could still be going on. So I guess I'm still stuck on the information part.
I think well, that's true for all of us, of course, that, you know, our personal issues, we try to separate them from our professional lives, but sometimes, yes, they do collide. I think that when you're looking here, you need to remember his job is not collecting information, it's protecting the company's information sources and ensuring that certain information's not going out, making sure that people are not utilizing, you know, doing their emails on phishing when, you know, we've all had those phishing tests, you know, looking at that the servers are up to date. It's not, again, it's not about keeping files for individuals.
And ma'am, just to add to that, end of 23 and 24, end of 23 and 24, MGM came out of the cyber attack, and I was in the center of that. So 23 and 24, full, I was completely busy with my whole work. Like I was traveling to Vegas almost every month, or at least half of the month I was in Vegas, and I could not focus much on what my wife was doing or what was going on at the family basis. But at the same time, my daughter was a victim of a cyberbullying, and it was I don't want to go into the details of what I went through in 2024 with my family matters. It is we reached out to the FBI, we reached out to the college investigators for the personal issues that we were going through. But at the same time, I was in the mid of coming out of the cyber attack because my systems were part of that attack. So I was focused, spending too much of time with the work as well as trying to see how I can help with my family. That is where I was stuck during those times.
Okay, thank you.
I do have a question. Sir, did you find the application that the division had very complicated, or?
It was, I felt it was a lot of pages, like around 60 or 70 pages, and I was asked to fill that form in the afternoon or previous day, and then I filled that as much as possible till late night, 2 in the morning, and then I just came to the office around 10:30 to submit the form.
Now, your mother was ill, correct? Did you call your mother,
Yes.
but you didn't know her phone number?
No, I called my father. I called my brother, and I filled typically I talk to my parents through my brother's number because they all stay at this same house. But I was supposed to provide my parents, my in-laws, my siblings, all of the numbers, and I missed that the whole section I missed while filling in the night. And then while I was standing in the counter, I was filling the form with the handwritten forms, and then I was trying to complete as much as possible.
Any other questions?
I have some questions
Go
for
ahead,
Mr.
sir.
Shigali. Sir, I see by the division's reports that CyberSafe Technology is a sole member LLC, or was a sole member LLC, owned by your wife, right, in 23?
That's right.
Okay. And was it operated out of your residence?
That's right.
Were you also an employee of CyberSafe,
No,
ever?
no.
Okay. What were you doing at the time in 23 when your wife was operating this business?
So
You said you had trips to Vegas or something. You're talking fast.
His position was with MGM
Oh.
Corporate as well?
Okay.
Okay. So it would have been with MGM Corporate at that time.
What was CyberSafe? What did your wife actually do with this business?
So she was a IT, she had a IT career for last 20 years. She worked at the companies like JP Morgan, Verizon, BNP Paribas, some other. So she quit her job as a full-time employee in 2021 during the COVID to spend some time with my daughter. And then when things started slowly getting back, she started looking for opportunities, and then she did this consulting job.
Okay. How many hours, if you know, how many hours a week did your wife devote to her business? Was it like a full-time
A
job?
full-time job.
And the business ceased operating when?
First, probably in February, March of '24.
Okay, and I see from the division's reports, CyberSafe claimed a business deduction of $36,000 for salary paid to your daughter, and that was your daughter, right?
Right.
Okay. Can you tell me if you know what specific duties were performed by your child, a full-time college student,
Yeah.
to justify the $36,000 salary in 2023?
Sure.
What
So,
did you do?
yeah, so my daughter was, her major in the first year was BATE, which was Business and Analytics Information Technology. at the Rutgers. So we wanted her to focus on the IT job. She started working at the restaurants and the warehouses in her first year and second year of high school. We wanted her to focus on this and then focus on studies. And also we wanted her to have a feel of what the IT job is going to be. So as part of working along with my wife, she did the presentations and then research on the technologies and then coming up the program management kind of a documentation for my wife's work.
Do you know how many hours a week she worked, your daughter?
Not sure, but like weekends, they used to work almost all the time during the weekends, and then weekdays, my wife used to be on call with her. I'm not sure how many hours she worked, but yeah, so they used to talk a lot and then discuss a lot.
I'm just thinking, 36,000, 52 weeks, somewhere around $750 a week. And that was just for working on the weekends?
Weekends and the weekdays as well. My daughter took most of her classes in the evenings and the afternoon and the evenings, so she was free during the morning hours.
What happened in 2024 when your child's deduction went down to $7,200 from $36,000? What happened there?
So we decided to close the business in the first quarter, and that was only for the first month, that is when she was paid.
And CyberSafe was an LLC?
Yes, sir. That's
I did a little research on my own. I don't know if it's accurate with regard to IRS rules for salary deductions for LLCs. Pretty explicit. It says that when salary deductions are taken, they're only appropriate when actual work was performed. You told me it was performed. The compensation was reasonable. Sounds pretty good. Wish my dad gave me that money at the bakery years ago. But number 3, and above all else, IRS says that business owner must maintain proper documentation like timesheets and payroll records. But according to the division, you couldn't provide any documentation for that, including expenses like vehicles and lawyer fees. Now, you explained that you weren't at home all the time when your wife was running the business and you had a lot of family problems.
Yes, that's right.
Okay. Can you tell me why, I hate to ask you to answer for your wife, but why did you think they were appropriate deductions if you didn't have any proper documentation for them?
So she communicated with a business email account that was the Microsoft account. That is the account that used with her business partners and the CPA, and that account was closed. So that was the reason she was not able to go get those documents back.
Did you say something about a CPA was involved? So you had professional tax?
Right.
So he ultimately made the decision along with your wife that those deductions were appropriate? Is that what you're saying?
I think yes.
Okay. Now, you only amended your tax returns after this issue with the division came up, right?
Right.
Are you saying up until that point, you didn't think there was anything wrong with those deductions?
I was going with the advice of the accountant. So all my taxes were managed by the accountant. So I was going based on his advices.
Do you see how amending your tax returns 2 or 3 years later raises some concern? I mean, you see that? You can understand that, right?
Yes.
Yes?
And if I may, though, I realized that it was when the division pointed the information out. As he indicated, they had records, but they were in this drive that when closed, they could no longer get the records, and they did try. Now, when they took the deductions, his wife would have worked with their accountant. The accountant also, returned whatever documents, which is normal, but the backup was kept in this drive and eventually lost. Similar to if you had a hard drive or an old computer that died and you couldn't get all your records back. Would, if, for instance, if the division didn't raise this and they decided it was appropriate to amend the returns, the other situation where that he would have had to amend is if the IRS would have audited him, because he would not have had the documents because of the account being closed. So there was not, shall I say, any issues raised by the IRS until, regarding his deductions. It was when the division raised the issue.
Are you saying he was a good record keeper, but those records were just lost? Is that what you're saying now?
I think that's what's been said all along, is that there were records. I can't testify, neither could he, as to what type of records his wife kept and how thorough, and if they would have met the division standards. But there were records and they were lost. And I think that's been the testimony all along.
But these people are computer people. They lost the records.
You have, you're an attorney. Have you ever looked at a real estate agreement and just said, yeah, it's personal?
I was sick the day they taught real estate law. I'm sorry.
But I mean, it happens because just as with a computer and the drive, if you're not focused on it, if your computer blows up and you hadn't backed it up because you had other issues going on, you would lose that. And it could be a computer person that it could happen to.
Mm-hmm. All right. This job that you might get, what are you going to do there? What are you in charge of? What do you do?
So I'm in charge of the information security and then identity and access management.
What assurances can you give this commission, if any, that in your job, information won't get lost like it was lost? I mean, you're a computer person, your wife's a computer person, but as your attorney said, that happens. This is a job depending on information, so can you tell me how, moving forward, this probably won't happen again?
So, personal to me, like, if you're asking, like, how would I maintain my personal documents, how would I work with my wife and my daughter, I would be a lot more diligent in terms of what is happening in my family and then make sure those are all well maintained. At least I'll take a backup of those. And related to my work, I am responsible for the security of the company and then the identity and access management. When I say identity and access management, when you hire or anybody gets transferred or terminated, how do we manage their access as per their job within the SLA? That I am very strong, and then you can look at my records at the MGM. Like after joining MGM, there are a lot of reforms in terms of how quickly I can get the access back to the employees. It used to be like a week when we could get the access. Now we are able to get them like in less than 24 hours.
All right, thank you, sir. Mr. Chairman, I just have a couple follow-ups for the attorney for the division.
Carry on.
Mr. Richardson, just one or two, and I promise, Ms. Sacco, I'm done. I know you got to go someplace. Have all the areas or concerns from the tax issues to the multi-jurisdictional personal history questionnaire, has everything been amended or fulfilled and fines paid back and monies owed to the division's satisfaction?
Yes.
Okay. And in light of everything we've gone over and in contemplation of your report, which I know I missed a few things, can you tell me the thought process that went into the division arriving at recommending the key license? And before answering that, please know that's not meant to challenge you or to infer that I necessarily disagree with it. I just wanted to hear from the division. I realize you can't get into the specifics of your report, but if you could, please provide general terms, if you like, the thought process that went into the decision, because quite frankly, Ms. Richardson, and I know I've only been here for a year, but I've seen the division recommend denial of employee key licensing applications for what I would consider a little less troublesome issues. So, can you enlighten me?
I think I don't really want to get into inappropriate areas of the nature of the investigation and the conclusions drawn from that. We have provided the information to the commission pertinent to this individual's background and situation. And I think the report describes the actions that were taken by the applicant when certain matters were brought to his attention and remediated in such a way that we made the recommendation that we did.
Okay, thank you. That's all I have, thanks.
Any other questions?
No.
None. Hearing none? Okay. Is there a motion?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I move to adopt the draft resolution granting an initial casino key employee license to Nagaraj Shikhali pursuant to NJSA 5:12-89. That's the motion to find Mr. Shikhali qualified to serve as Vice President of Information Security, IAM, for Marina District Development LLC in accordance with NJSA 5:12-85.1 and NJAC 13:69C-2.6.
Is there a second?
Mr. Chairman, I second the motion.
Any further discussion?
No.
Hearing none, roll call vote.
Commissioner Formica.
Would you mind if I put my reasons on the record for
Please.
my vote? Okay. I got to tell you, this is a close one for me. It was reported that Cyberspace Technology was a sole member LLC formed by Mr. Shikhali Spice, spouse Spice, out of their residence, and while the child is a full-time college student, CyberSafe pays the child a salary of $37,000 for, now what we know, mostly work on the weekends and in the evening after the earlier classes were done. And that was done in 2023. A business deduction is taken before we even get to the lost record keeping. I kind of have a hard time swallowing that, but let's give Mr. Shikhali the benefit of the doubt. Let's say that the child actually earned that money despite going to college full-time. The salary was fair compensation as required by the IRS. The fact would still remain that Mr. Shikhali, a guy by his background and his wife's background and prospective employment, would appear to be a guy to cross your T's and dot your I's when it comes to retention of electronic documentation. And if we take the first premise as true, that the hours worked and the salary of the child were all above board, in my mind, that would mean that Mr. Shikhali was either negligent or reckless in record keeping. And in my view, negligence and recklessness in record keeping does not equate to financial integrity as required by the Casino Control Act for key licensing and qualification. And in my questioning, I didn't even get to the amount of or I never got to the bottom of the business expenses, which no documentation were provided for, and perhaps they were lost in this same electronic hard drive. I don't know. Office expenses, legal services. But on the other hand, when confronted with all these issues and shortcomings as reported by the division, Mr. Shikhali amended all he had to amend. He ponied up all the dough he had to pony up, and he did it rather quickly. And that went a long way, I think, when I read the division's reports in perhaps rehabilitating some of his flailing financial integrity hat. And to that end, on the one hand as well, I now have the benefit of a more close-up and personal reasoning for the division's recommendations. Thank you, Ms. Richardson. And thirdly, I also heard from Mr. Shikhali, who I found to be quite credible. Fourth, I believe we all want to see Atlantic City succeed. That's why we're up here. And one way for it to succeed is to have the best people, best employee candidates in the most meaningful positions in their respective casinos. And in my view, that will benefit the industry as a whole. So in that vein, I further note that we didn't talk about it here today, but Mr. Shikhali seems to have a spectacular pedigree. 2005 to 2010 software engineer contractor for RCG Global, 2013 to 2019 VP IAM for JP Morgan Chase. Boy, that sounds pretty big. In 2020 was an IC security manager for MUFG Union Bank, North America, and from 2020 to 2021, a cloud architect for Microsoft. And apparently, the Brigada likes that pedigree as well. Now, that's not to say that we should ignore or bend statutory requirements like financial integrity just to put good candidates in good spots, but when assessing an excellent employee candidate with a concerning issue, I am reminded, like Mr. Levinson reminded me, or reminded us all earlier, that the Commission's long-settled precedent for our casino case law, and I'll paraphrase and quote, in evaluating whether an applicant possesses the necessary good character, honesty, and integrity required for key licensure, the hearing examiner, the Commissioner, must consider the entire record and attempt to assess the person's life as a whole. And that is the application of Michael Baldino for Casino Key Employee License 94 NJR 2nd 48 CCC 1993, and I agree with that. I also believe that the consideration should be qualitative as well as quantitative, meaning that sometimes, in my view, and maybe it's my criminal sentencing background, that a single egregious issue pertaining to financial or character integrity could outweigh a number of positive attributes of an applicant's character. And lastly, as I earlier stated, I appreciate Ms. Richardson's input, and to circle back to her, I also took time to take into consideration that if granted his key license and qualification today by a majority vote, the division, who did a great investigation, this time will no doubt do another great investigation when Mr. Shigahale comes up for resubmission, whether I'm here or not. In other words, the division will be keeping an eye out for any future issues of a financial nature, which could lead to a different outcome at the time of resubmission. So, not dismissing in any way the issue of financial integrity, of which I had a problem and of which Mr. Shigahale has appeared to have rehabilitated himself to a large degree and to the division's satisfaction. But at the same time, I am cognizant that I must consider the entire record and attempt to assess the person's life as a whole, as the case law says. General Counsel, if you're asking me for a roll call vote, my vote is yes.
Commissioner Molyneux, Vice Chair Molyneux,
No.
Chairman Pelosi.
Yes. Good luck, sir.
Thank you.
Good luck. Item number 10 is the petition of DGMB Casino LLC, doing business as Resorts Casino Hotel, requesting permission for Jerome T. Smith to assume the duties and exercise the powers of an independent audit committee member and compliance committee member of DGMB Casino LLC, pending plenary qualification. This matter was initiated by petition PRN 1892603, dated July 7, 2026, seeking as indicated temporary qualification of Mr. Jerome Timothy Smith to fill a vacancy on the Independent Audit and Compliance Committees of DGMB Casino, doing business as Resorts. We have counsel for the property present via Zoom, Mr. Moles, and counsel for the division. And with your permission, Mr. Chairman, I ask that they enter their appearances.
Thank you, Ms. Fauntleroy. Good morning, Chairman, Commissioners Molyneux and Formica. Nicholas Moles, General Counsel for Resorts Casino Hotel, representing Resorts in this matter. Also present are the applicant, Jerome Timothy Smith, who is requesting temporary qualification to allow him to serve in the position of the Audit Committee and Compliance Committee member.
Chairman and Commissioners, Jocelyn Fedowitz, Deputy Attorney General, on behalf of the Division of Gaming Enforcement.
Proceed, Mr. Moles. Can you?
So, Chairman, I don't have anything in particular that I plan on presenting to the commission. It's fairly straightforward insofar as the petition having been filed July 7th, the division letter having been filed on July 29th, indicating no objection to Mr. Smith's temporary qualification. Mr. Smith has a very strong background in the casino industry. In fact, he served with resorts from 1978 through November of 1990 in various positions, his last position having been as Vice President of Casino Operations. That was 36 years ago that he left, and in the interim, he served various positions in either casino-related enterprises, also having served as a member of the audit committee of the former Great Bay Hotel and Casino, and an independent director of that entity as well. He is currently retired. He has an impeccable background with a background in finance, and he also served his country, having served 2 years in the Army as well. As I indicated, he is here present. If the commissioners have any questions for him, I offer you that opportunity.
Thank you. Any questions for council or the applicant?
No, sir.
Okay.
Elsa?
Okay.
The division filed a letter response dated July 29th, 2026, of no objection to the request for temporary qualification of Jerome Smith. The division has also reviewed the draft resolution and has no objections. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Again, any questions for council?
No, sir.
No.
Hearing none, is there a motion?
Yes, sir. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I have reviewed the petition, memorandum of general counsel, division's reports, and the draft resolution. And at this time, I move to adopt the draft resolution and authorize Jerome T. Smith on a temporary basis and prior to his plenary qualification to assume the duties and exercise the powers of a member of the Independent Audit Committee and a member of the Compliance Committee for DGMB Casino LLC, subject to the conditions contained in NJSA 5:12-85.1 and NJAC 13:69C-2.6.
Is there a second?
Mr. Chairman, I second the motion.
Any further discussion?
No,
No.
sir.
Hearing none, roll call vote.
Commissioner Formica,
Yes.
Vice Chair Molyneux,
Yes.
and Chairman Pelosi.
Yes. Good luck, Mr. Smith, and welcome back.
Thank you. Thank you all.
Thank you. Item number 11 is the petition of Tropicana Atlantic City Corp., doing business as Tropicana Atlantic City, requesting permission for Lee F. Ada Wong to assume the duties and exercise the powers of Vice President, Player Development, Asian Marketing, pending plenary qualification. This matter was initiated by petition PRN 2082603, dated July 27, 2026, seeking permission for Ms. Wong to be temporarily qualified to fill the promotional position of Vice President, Player Development, Asian Marketing. It should be noted that Ms. Wong has already received a temporary casino key employee license that was issued by delegated authority by the commission staff on April 6, 2026. So in order to take this additional promotional opportunity, the qualification is required as the position has been identified as a qualifying position by the division. With that, we have counsel for the property as well as division council president. President, I ask that they enter their appearances and proceed.
Good morning, not afternoon yet.
Good morning.
Close.
Beth Sacco, Vice President, Chief Counsel, Caesars Entertainment, appearing on behalf of Tropicana Atlantic City.
Good morning again, Chairman and Commissioners. Tracy Richardson, Deputy Attorney General for the Division of Gaming Enforcement.
As General Counsel Fauntleroy mentioned, this is a petition for permission for Ada Wong to assume the duties and exercise the powers of the position of Vice President, Player Development, Asian Marketing for Tropicana Atlantic City. As General Counsel Fauntleroy also mentioned, she already has a temporary casino key employee license, which was issued in April of 2026. And now, since this position is one requiring qualification, we are, before you today. The VP of Player Development Asian Marketing position at Tropicana is a new one, and Ms. Wong has been promoted into that position. She has been with Tropicana since about 2007, and she's held various positions within the Tropicana as well as the Atlantic City Casino Marketing positions within those two departments. She was last Executive Director of Asian Marketing Regional. I have reviewed the division's letter interposing no objection, and I've also reviewed the draft resolution, and I find it to be acceptable in form and substance. And unless the commission has any additional questions, I would request that the commission grant Ms. Wong's temporary qualification to serve as Vice President, Player Development, Asian Marketing for Tropicana Atlantic City.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You have the division's response of no objection that was submitted on August 4th, 2026. We've also reviewed the draft resolution and have no objections. And as has been noted, because the temporary key license was granted earlier this year, the qualification, should you grant it today, will run concurrently with that and will expire in January 2027. Thank you.
Are there any questions for council?
No.
No.
Hearing none, is there a motion?
Yes, sir, thank you. Mr. Chairman, I reviewed the petition, General Counsel's memo, Division's email, no objection, the draft resolution. At this time, I move to adopt the draft resolution, authorize Ada Wong on a temporary basis and prior to her plenary qualification to assume the duties and exercise the powers as Vice President, Player Development, Asian Marketing for Tropicana Atlantic City Corp., subject to the conditions contained in NJSA 5:12-85.1 and NJAC 13:69C-2.6, and with the terms and conditions as provided for in the resolution. Further, the temporary qualification shall run concurrently with the 9-month period of the temporary casino key employee license issued on April 6, 2026, and shall expire on January 6, 2027.
Is there a second?
Mr. Chairman, I second the motion.
Any further discussion?
No.
Hearing none, roll call vote.
Commissioner Formica,
Yes.
Vice Chair Molyneux,
Yes.
and Chairman Pelosi.
Yes.
Thank you. I'm going to call 14. Are you ready? Mr. Chairman, with your permission, can I call the addendum since Ms. Sacco is seated already? That's addendum number 14.
Yes.
Thank you. That is the petition of Boardwalk Regency LLC, doing business as Caesars Atlantic City, for the issuance of a temporary casino key employee license to Michael Pistone pursuant to NJSA 5:12-89E, and to permit him to assume the duties and exercise the powers of Vice President of Casino Marketing pending plenary qualification. This matter was initiated by petition PRN 218-2601, dated August 6, 2026, seeking permission by the casino licensee as indicated for Mr. Pistone to assume the duties of Vice President of Casino Marketing. With that, I believe council is present, and I ask that they again enter their appearances and address the commission directly.
Good morning, Beth Sacco, Vice President, Chief Counsel, Regional Operations, Caesars Entertainment for Boardwalk Regency LLC, doing business as Caesars Atlantic City.
Good morning, Tracy Richardson, Deputy Attorney General for the Division of Gaming Enforcement.
Again, as stated by General Counsel Fauntleroy, this is a petition for the temporary casino key employee license for Michael Pistone and for permission for him to assume the duties and exercise the powers of the position of Vice President, Casino Marketing for Caesars Atlantic City. This position has been vacant for some time, so we're very happy to be able to fill it now after a search. A little background on Mr. Pistone. He's most recently employed with Wind Creek Bethlehem Casino in Pennsylvania as the Senior Director of Relationship Marketing. He's held various positions within casino marketing for several years with a number of different casinos, and he started at the Sands Casino and Hotel in Atlantic City. He was there from 1998 until February 2005, so we're glad that he's coming back to the Atlantic City casino industry. He will be relocating to New Jersey, and he was actually born and raised in Hamilton, New Jersey. So happy to have him. I've reviewed the division's letter interposing no objection to this petition. I've also reviewed the draft resolution and find it to be acceptable as to form and substance, and unless the commission has any questions, I would respectfully request that a resolution be entered granting Mr. Pistone a temporary casino key employee license as well as temporary qualification. Thank you.
Thank you.
As was mentioned, the division filed a response of no objection to this petition for Mr. Pistone to be granted a temporary casino key employee license as well as qualification in the position of Vice President Casino Marketing. We have also reviewed the draft resolution and have no objections. Thank you.
Are there any questions for council on this matter?
I do have a question for Ms. Atkins.
Yes.
Mr. Pistone, is he related to Donnie Brasco?
No idea.
Nobody watches the movies here? Joe Pistone, the FBI agent that went under? Okay,
I don't
that's all I
have
got.
time for that.
No. Actually, it was 30 years ago, and I knew you had time for it back then. That's it.
Any other questions?
No.
None. Is there a motion?
Yes, sir, thank you, Mr. Chairman. We're at number 14. I move to approve the petition. I reviewed the petition, General Counsel's memo, the division's email, no objection. I move to approve the petition, issue a temporary casino employee license to Michael Pistone pursuant to NJSA 5:12-89B4, NJSA 5:12-89E, and NJAC 19:41A-5.3, and permit him to assume the duties and exercise the powers of Vice President of Casino Marketing for Boardwalk Regency, LLC, pending plenary qualification, and that's in accordance with the conditions contained in NJSA 5:12-85.1 and NJAC 13:69C-2.6.
Is there a second?
Mr. Chairman, I second the motion.
Any further discussion?
No.
Hearing none, roll call vote.
Commissioner Formica,
Yes.
Vice Chair Molyneux,
Yes.
and Chairman Pelosi.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Item number 12, returning to regular order, is consideration of the plenary qualification of Karen M. Wells.
I was over anxious.
Karen M. Wells to serve as a member of the Compliance Committee of MGM Resorts International. This matter was initiated by petition PRN 0272-601 dated January 27, 2026, seeking Ms. Wells's temporary qualification to serve in the capacity indicated. It was considered at your February 11, 2026 public meeting. A resolution was entered granting her temporary qualification, resolution number 2602-1115. Before you now is consideration of the plenary qualification of Ms. Wells. We have counsel for the property president as well as counsel for the division, and I ask with your permission that they enter their appearances and proceed.
Pat Madamba, Senior Vice President, Legal Counsel for MGM Resorts International and Marina District Development Company, on behalf of MGM and Ms. Wells.
Morning.
Good morning. Tracy Richardson, Deputy Attorney General for the Division of Gaming Enforcement.
Thank you. I've reviewed the draft resolution. It's fine in form and substance. We just ask that the relief be granted. Thank you.
As you have the division's report dated August 3rd, 2026, it recommends the plenary qualification of Karen Wells as a member of the MGM Resorts International Compliance Committee. We have also reviewed the draft resolution and have no objections. Thank you.
Are there any questions for council?
No.
Hearing none, is there a motion?
Yes, sir. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I have reviewed the petition, General Counsel's memo, division that was report this time, and the draft resolution. At this time, I move to adopt the draft resolution, find Karen M. Wells qualified to serve as a member of the Compliance Committee for MGM Resorts International in accordance with NJSA 5:12-85.1 and NJAC 13:69C-2.7.
Is there a second?
Mr. Chairman, I second the motion.
Any further discussion?
No.
sir.
Hearing none, roll call vote.
Commissioner Formica,
Yes.
Vice Chair Molyneux,
Yes.
and Chairman Pelosi.
Yes.
Thank you. And if I may, we very much appreciate the thoughtful approach with Mr. Shingali. He's a highly valued member of our information security team, and I love the levity with Mr. Levin. It's really nice to see him back.
Yes.
Thank you again.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Number 13, joint petition of Premier Entertainment AC LLC and Bally's Corporation for qualification of certain entities pursuant to NJSA 5:12-85.1C and NJSA 5:12-85.1E. This matter was initiated by petition PRN 0342601, seeking the qualification of Aries Management as a financial source for Premier Entertainment AC LLC, doing business as Bally's Atlantic City. You have before you counsel for the property as well as counsel for the division, and with your permission, I request that they enter their appearances and address the matter directly.
Okay, I think it's my turn. Lynn Levin Kaufman, Cooper Levinson for Premier Entertainment, AC LLC, and Bally's Corporation.
Good morning, Tracy Richardson, Deputy Attorney General for the Division of Gaming Enforcement.
As General Counsel Fauntleroy stated, this matter is the qualification of Aries Management as a financial source of Premier Entertainment AC LLC. This was in connection with a $1.1 billion term loan. The transaction closed in February of 2026, so this is not new debt of Bally's Corporation. However, Bally's Atlantic City is now joining and becoming one of many, many guarantors of the debt and providing security. This is occurring now because at the time the loan was closed, Aries needed to be qualified and the material debt transaction needed to be approved. Significantly, because Bally's sold its international interactive business, this new term loan actually ended up with a net result of a significantly lower amount of outstanding debt and a significantly lower interest rate than before that business and some other transactions occurred, and this new term loan was entered into. This new debt and the reduction in debt considers upcoming New York license fees and paid New York license fees and fees in connection with the development of Bally's Chicago. The reduction in debt is approximately 40%. We are here today because the division, after its thorough investigation, did approve the material debt transaction conditioned upon Aries qualification. I note that the reduced debt and the reduced interest payments indirectly do benefit Bally's Atlantic City, as one of the existing and outstanding conditions is that Bally's Corporation fund any shortfalls that may occur with Bally's Atlantic City. So this provides Bally's Atlantic City actually extra cash security. I ask that the commission grant the requested relief, and thank you.
The division filed a report dated July 30th, 2026 that recommends the qualification of Aries Management LLC as a financial source of Bally's Corporation and Bally's Atlantic City. We've also reviewed the draft resolution that's been prepared, and I just want to note for the record that with regard to the resolution, it does mention, and has been mentioned today, that the division handled a material debt transaction related to the financing that Ms. Kaufman has detailed. And I just want to be clear that the division handled that separately, and before the commission today is just the qualification of the financial source entity. And that report that the division prepared would be subject to redactions for certain financial information, which are in progress and will be posted publicly with the director's actions under the normal procedures. That's twice per month. And because that document has not been made public yet, we're just asking that the commission not discuss in detail the financial contents of that letter and any of the information contained therein, again, because the matter before the commission on the agenda is the qualification of the financial source entity on its own and its qualification to be a financial source regarding these transactions, which have already closed but have not been subject to a guarantee by Bally's Atlantic City pending your approval and their qualification. To avoid any confusion or redundancy, we ask that we keep the matter separate and what's limited to the agenda today. Thank you.
Any question for council?
I do
No.
have a couple for Ms. Kaufman, but go ahead, I'll defer to Vice Chair there.
No.
Okay. Along with being sick the day they taught real estate law at law school, I was also sick, on wills, trusts, and estates and stuff. So, Ms. Kaufman, can you help me out with this? So, my understanding is Bally's is the guarantor on this material debt transaction, but they needed the backing of Ayers to the tune of about $700 million to become the guarantor. And Bally needs this commission to qualify Ayers to get the whole thing done. Is that about right?
That is incorrect.
That is incorrect.
Okay.
Please.
Ares is the financial source, meaning they are the administrative agent and collateral agent for coordinating, and also a lender under that $1.1 billion transaction. So they are essentially granting the money to Bally's Corporation.
Right.
Okay, so they're giving the money, but if Bally's Corporation defaults on the loan and doesn't pay back, then you go to the guarantors. So then Bally's Atlantic City and 20 other facilities would be liable for the money. So Ares is the lender, essentially, to Bally's Corporation, and then indirectly.
Ayers. Ayers is the lender.
Correct.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, I misunderstood
No,
how you
okay.
described it. Okay.
Here's my concern, and maybe the lawyer for the division could also enlighten me. Could this material debt agreement, which hinges upon, well, I know everything's done already, things would have to be undone, so it doesn't, I guess I'd be wrong and say it hinges upon qualifying heirs. Could this agreement and its funds somehow not be used to benefit Bally's in Atlantic City, but more so the other casino ventures like Bally's Bronx and Las Vegas?
Well, there is a condition that Bally's Corporation is subject to that requires Bally's Corporation to fund any shortfalls for Bally's Atlantic City. So money is fungible. They might not be using this money, but they will have other money. They will have more money than they had before to be able to be used because their general debt has been reduced. And they still have an obligation to fund.
Did you say something about using some of this money to pay the casino license in the state of New York, which I
No.
know is exorbitant?
Well, that has already been paid.
Okay.
What my point was that has already been paid, and there is still this very large debt reduction and interest rate deduction.
Thank you, ma'am.
Okay.
Any other questions for council?
No.
Hearing none, is there a motion?
Yes, sir. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. At this time, I move to adopt the draft resolution, find Aries Management LLC qualified as a financial source of casino licensee Premier Entertainment AC LLC in accordance with NJSA 5:12-85.1E and NJAC 13:69C-5B.1, and subject to the findings and rulings in the resolution.
Is there a second?
Mr. Chairman, I second the motion.
Any further discussion?
No, sir.
No.
Hearing none, roll call vote?
Commissioner Formica,
Yes.
Vice Chair Molyneux,
Yes.
and Chairman Pelosi.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
In accordance with Resolution 25121003, the next closed session shall be held on Wednesday, September 9, 2026, at 9:30 a.m. in the Commission offices.
This is the public participation portion of the meeting. Is there anyone from the public that wishes to speak?
There are no email comments, Mr.
No.
Chairman.
Okay. The public participation portion of the meeting is now closed. Is there a motion for adjournment?
Yes, sir. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I move to adjourn the public meeting.
Do I have a second?
Mr. Chairman, I second the motion.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye.